Hello friends, it's time for another Good to Know Monday tip. I titled today's video tip, How to Turn Beliefs into Total Convictions. Our beliefs have different levels of emotional certainty and intensity, and so it's important to know just how intense your beliefs are. Our beliefs fall into three categories: opinions, beliefs, and convictions. An opinion is something we feel relatively certain about, but the certainty is often temporary once we hear other people's opinions on the subject, and they're different from our own. When our cognitive tabletop of belief is supported by wobbly, unverified reference legs that are based on impressions alone, cognitive dissonance can enter our mind and cause us to experience all kinds of painful thoughts and emotions, especially if we've held our tabletop of belief over a long period of time. Beliefs are formed when we begin to develop a much larger base of reference legs. Our reference legs are stronger when they're linked to strong emotions. These emotionally charged references often give us a sense of absolute certainty about things. And as I've said before, these supercharged references can come from a variety of sources. Anything from personal experiences to learned information from other people. And lastly, from vividly imagined thoughts, where we imagine them over a long period of time, over and again, repeatedly, until we've come to believe them. These principles make up what I call the law of closed-mindedness, which says people with strong emotional beliefs have a strong level of certainty, and because it's so strong, their minds are often closed off from receiving any new input whatsoever on the subject, and this is called closed-mindedness. If you have communicative rapport with a person of strong conviction, it may be possible to interrupt their pattern of closed-mindedness and get them to open their mind to thinking about their references and allow new input to come in. When they allow new input, it can often generate enough doubt that it destabilizes their old references, their old story, in other words, allowing them to make room for a new belief, a new story that will serve them even better. That's so important. A conviction eclipses an opinion or belief primarily because of the emotional intensity with which the person has linked it to a specific idea. A person holding a conviction for an idea that they have strong feelings about not only leads to feelings of certainty about that idea, it can even lead to feeling anger when their conviction is questioned. A person with such a deep conviction is usually unwilling to question their references for even a moment. A person with this level of emotionally charged belief is so passionate about the idea, they're even willing to risk rejection or making a fool of themselves for the sake of their conviction. A single biggest factor separating belief from conviction, like I said, is the fact that conviction comes from belief being linked to a significant emotional event. The brain takes an event that the person feels really emotional about and links those emotions to the idea that generated those emotions because of what the person chose to make that event mean. Here are a few thoughts to describe what I'm talking about. Unless I believe this, I will suffer pain. If I change my belief, I will be giving up my entire identity, everything my life has stood for years. Holding such a conviction becomes crucial to the person's very survival and identity. Let me say here that being immovable like this can be dangerous, and that's because anytime we're not willing to even look at or consider the possibility that our beliefs are inaccurate, could end up trapping us in rigidity, which of course ultimately condemns us to long-term failure, and we certainly don't want any of that, do we? Dr. Robert P. Abelson, a Yale University psychologist and political scientist with special interests in statistics and logic, said this: beliefs are like possessions, and convictions are simply more valued possessions, which a person gives them the ability to passionately work towards the completion of their large-scale or individual goals, projects, wishes, or desires. On the other side of things, convictions can be very empowering to individuals because of the power that lies within. It's the passion, and it's this passion for such convictions that can and will inspire us. It can even compel us to take big action. So, what's the bottom line here? The best thing you and I can do to create mastery in any area of our lives is to raise our beliefs to the level of conviction. Like I said, conviction and the passion it produces has the power to drive us forward to take real big action. And this kind of power will help push you through all kinds of obstacles. Now, basic belief can do this as well, but some areas of our lives may require the added emotional intensity that conviction alone brings along with it. It's called passion. So let's get passion. Let's get emotional about our convictions and our beliefs and get the right story going. Well, before I close this off, I want to invite you once again, for those of you who haven't done this, is to go to the email that I sent, and there's a link on it, the email that you use to click on and watch this video. It has a link for a 30-minute or a 60-minute coaching call with me personally for free. So click on that, set a schedule of a date and time, and let's get after it. Let's spend an hour together so I can help you take your goal and your dream of a business and launching it to the next level. But until then, I want to wish all of you continued success. Goodbye.